Hi there, I am Victor Irving Jenkins of Crave the Spotlight. We love talking about mindset on this blog because mindset, we believe, is responsible for the entirety of one's life. Today we're going to talk about something that many of us have experience with. We hear it all the time, but today we're going to give you some real-world example as to how you can actually stay positive. Now, we know people, every time we see them, they say, stay positive. Oh, man, you got to stay positive. You know, man, as long as you stay positive, you need a positive mental attitude. People throw that word positive around as though it's as simple as flicking a switch. And you know what? It really is as simple as flicking a switch. But you still have got to know how to do it. We talk about a mind being open, and we talk about a mind being positive. Let me share a little something with you that I've come across recently. Now, this next few minutes is really going to rock your world because it's going to change everything that you've thought, and it's going to impact everything that you do from now on once you choose to believe what I'm about to say. And it goes like this. There is a thinking stuff, of which everything is made, and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. Now, man can form things in his thoughts, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance, he can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. In order to do this, man must first pass from the competitive to the creative mind. He must form a clear mental picture of the things he wants and hold that picture in his thoughts with the fixed purpose to get what he wants, unwavering in his faith that he does get what he wants, closing his mind to all that would tend to shake his purpose, dim his vision, or quench his faith. It's not that simple either, because even after all that, man must do things in a certain way. Now I want to draw your attention to the last part of that dissertation, which says, closing his mind to all that would tend to shake his purpose. Now, how do you really do that? Well, first of all, you have to decide to believe the truth, and the truth is there is a conspiracy for you to have your way. The truth is that there are great things looking for you all the time, and all you really have to do is think about them. That is the truth. Now, when you come home from work and your spouse wants to have an argument with you, you know what? That's the time for you to listen. And that is the point. What I have found over the years that I have lived is that one of the best ways to close your mind to all that would shake your purpose, dim your vision, and quench your faith is to put a governor on this thing right here. When people are talking with you, when people are sharing with you, when people are criticizing you, when people are complaining about you, the least effective thing that you can do is open this thing. The most effective thing you can do is to keep that thing closed. So that's what I'm suggesting to you. I'm suggesting to you that you keep your mouth closed. Now, those of us that advocate staying positive, we might think that saying positive things like I'm great, I love myself and all that, we might think that that is the way you stay positive. And that's true, generally. But we live amongst other people. There's other humans in our environment, and they won't simply just sit around waiting for you to say those positive things to yourself. You have to interact with them, and when you interact with them, a lot of times they have complaints. They have complaints about you, and the complaints that they have about you have no merit. But what do you have to do? They say stay positive. Well, you have to close your mind. And you have to understand that no one really has the right to criticize you or to complain about you, no matter what they may think. You must know this truth. Then this truth will keep you on an even keel. It is not easy to do, but it is very, very simple to do. You just simply decide. There's a reason our Creator gave us the ability to ignore things, because sometimes ignoring things is the best that you can do. I recently was made aware of a story. A friend of mine, he was in an environment where he seemed to get chewed out all the time. Every time he turned around, somebody who was in a position of authority were chewing him out about one thing or another. Never was the same thing twice, but just imagine yourself in an environment where people are criticizing you all the time. Just imagine that. Well, that's where he found himself. So he had to come up with some strategy that would help him deal with this, because being criticized and complained about all the time, your shoulders get slumped, you get hunched over, your posture, it is just really not a good place to be. So what he decided that he would do, and this is in the effort of staying positive and closing his mind to all that would tend to shake his purpose, what he decided to do was, while the person was chewing him out, he mentally rated the chew out. He rated the chew out on things like originality, on things like vocabulary, on things like righteous indignation, on things, how well the person chewed him out on a scale of 0 to 10. Now I want to point out that when you're being chewed out, nobody really wants to hear your excuses about why it is you've done the thing that they feel deserves chewing out about. So at the end of the chew out session, you simply need to say, hey, you know what? I'm terribly sorry, and I will try to do better. Don't smile like this while you're doing it, though. You have to at least create the impression that you're sincere. So that worked for him for quite a while. Whenever he got chewed out, he just sat, he just listened, and when it was over with, he says, hey, you know what? I'm terribly sorry. I'll do better next time. And it was working like a charm. And then one day this person was chewing him out, giving him left, right, duking him out verbally, really letting him have it, and just telling him how to count you the cabbage. And while the guy was telling him that, he was standing there mute, with his mouth closed, listening and listening, all the while evaluating this guy's chew out, right? All the while evaluating how well this guy was smacking him around verbally. And when the guy got finished, while he was so caught up in his evaluation, he says to the guy, he just blurted out, he says, hey, you know what? That is the absolute best chewing out that I've ever gotten. And well, of course, the guy had to laugh because it was kind of funny. And they both laughed. And anyway, they ended up having a situation that wasn't so bad. But the story is not about them and their situation. The story is about how you can stay positive by closing your mind to all that would tend to dim your purpose. You have to do that, because your mind will run roughshod over you if you let it. Your mind will take an idea and just keep going with it, and if you want to be negative about it, it'll be negative about it. If you want to be positive about it, it'll be positive about it. So when people tell you to stay positive, that's a good thing to know, that's a good thing to hear. But the time that you want to employ that philosophy is when you're getting chewed out, is when you're being criticized, is when you are in a situation where an average person would react by being defensive. So I hope you have enjoyed this blog. If it's blessed you, if it's helped you, please send it to somebody, let them see it. But for now, I am Victor Irving Jenkins from Crave the Spotlight, inviting you to have a good time until the next time.